Hey everybody, it's Mike the Monkey Fab, and we're continuing with the Everlast 200 Powertig 200 DV. We're setting it up today, real quick, and then we'll probably weld some metals, but I'll do that later because it's like already super late, and I just figured I'd film this part and get it done. That way I don't have to worry about it. So, real simple to set this up. I just repurposed my, actually I usually have my Vulcan sitting there, but we put the Vulcan in another room and we just sat this on my toolbox, and that works pretty good. And the tank's back there. You're supposed to secure that because it turns into like a missile if it falls over and the top gets knocked off, but you wouldn't want that flying through your shop. But yeah, so do safety things to make sure everything's safe. But we're hooking this guy up, and I'm gonna show you how quick, easy, and simple that will be. So you guys can see. Can you guys see? Yeah, you can see. So we'll just we'll go right down the line. So over here we got the minus, which is really not the ground, it's the torch. So we got the torch here, which like I said is a super nice torch, air cooled, large torch. Nothing super fancy there. Is it a flex head? No, it's not a flex head. But those are really easy to put on if you want to change it out. It literally is, I'll show you real quick. I actually have one in the toolbox right now, but we're not going to swap it out. We're just going to, you don't have to have a flex head to weld. It just makes life a little bit easier when you do. So they always zip tie these guys, but you would just basically pull this out. There you go. And they got shrink wrap tube on here, which is silly, but basically all there is just a nut right here. You just unscrew that nut from here, just cut this, unscrew it, and then just screw a flex head on, and that would be how you get your flex head on. That simple. So I really like this. I like the fact that it already has a cover. Usually your cheaper stuff does not have covers on them, and the cover just helps because you accidentally run it over with your chair, or you step on it, and you shouldn't do any of that stuff, but it happens. And so here's the control for the torch for the finger, which is kind of nice if you're like, say, underneath the chassis and doing you know, chassis work, or doing like a roll cage or something, that kind of deal. Then that would be super nice to have right there, on off. And I don't have that on my HTP. I would like to have it. The control here, and like I said, again, it's just really nice. Look at that, nice. It looks exactly like the one on my HTP. You think they all come out of the same factory in China? I bet they do. A little bit of SARS virus, or what is that new stuff, the coronavirus sprinkled on there just for... We'll edit that out, because that's just mean, Mike. Try to be nicer. We got pedal. Lots of lead on that pedal, which is kind of nice. I'm always welding on a bench, so I'm a bit spoiled. But if you're doing something where you're in a shop and you're having to go underneath a car, or over a car, or through a car, then it's nice to have that extra length. It looks pretty long. It's like a 25 foot. Most of them come with just a 12, or did back when I was buying machines. And then our ground clamp, and we know our ground clamp goes to the plus, And these guys right here, it's just a little, there's a nug, and it's like basically like a cam. It cams into it. You're gonna be tempted to gorilla fist this, but don't, because this brass is real soft and you can strip them out real easy. Just give it a snug, you know, maybe 5-8 foot-pounds of torque, hardly nothing, just snug. You just need to make contact. So that's the whole front end setup. We gotta put the regulator on. And this is a nice regulator. Like, I'm impressed. They could have really cheaped out on that part. And a lot of them come with like these super cheap. It almost looks like the regulator on my MIG welding machine, where it's just kind of a dial gauge with a needle inside. And yeah, but they got a nice little flow gauge. Now, one of my friends, Max Hempel from 5th Street Fab, did a video showing an actual flow test meter flow test. And they're not always accurate. So the answer is, don't worry about the numbers. Do what you need to do to get the best results to shield your weld. That's going to be the right answer. This guy looks right now. I managed to get into a rat's nest back here. But yeah, it's just one little thing, and the same process applies. Don't torque it too tight. I mean, just like 5 foot-pounds. You don't need to kill it, and you don't put Teflon tape on this stuff either. No Teflon tape, guys. And we just need power. So keep this guy in. And let's get a ground. You guys see what we're doing? Yeah, you can see. Just ground that out in our welding table mill. And that's all good. We'll need to put the torch together. I think I got a study gas lens up in the mill somewhere. Yes. All right. You too could have a study gas lens if you just go to monkeyfabgarage.com, go into welding supplies, and bam, there you go. Because nobody wants to weld with big torch parts. It's inconvenient. And we get one of my number 12 cups. And we'll need a back cap. This guy. Need some tungsten. Got to go to the eye doctor. And that just screws on the mill like that. People ask, like, how far do you stick out the tungsten on your cups, your number 12s, your 16s? And generally what I do is I just make kind of like a pretend like I got a right angle here, and it just kind of all works out. So about as long as it is wide is generally what I do. And then I turn my tungsten or my gas flow up to like 25, 30 on my regulator, and that covers everything real well. And then you can really get into those tight spots, which is nice, so nice. I think we're pretty much set up. Let's go ahead and start the machine. We'll put on like 100 amps, and we'll just run like a quick bead on some stainless. So there's a switch in the back. It's just like one of those Chinese breakers. Flip it up. It's loud. I hate loud machines. But for the price, what are you gonna do? It's the same thing with the Vulcan. I don't know what the AHP is like, so let's set you up too high. So we're at close enough. Pulse is off, foot pedal, DC, high frequency start, post flow at like 12 seconds, just a bump on our pre-flow. You can disregard all of these guys because we're not doing any of that. And we just need to check the flow on the air, on the Oregon. Make sure that it's actually flowing. So yeah, that's where it's at. Let's do some a quick bead. As you can see, with just within minutes, you got this guy all together, all set up. Got a GLS Fab Cup from Monkey Fab Garage on there. Gotta make some money, guys. Help me out. Got a family to feed. But yeah, and it ran nice speed. It was kind of weird. My speed glass. I got an old speed glass that's a papper that kind of keeps you from inhaling things that will kill you. Didn't want to pick up the arc at first, and it picks up the arc just fine on the HTP and the Vulcan. So I don't know, you know, pixies and electricity and stuff. I just turned the sensitivity. I realized the sensitivity was down really low, like 4, so I turned it up to like 6, and it worked just fine. So that wasn't an issue. But that just goes to show you guys, like I was talking about earlier with your hoods, get a good hood, and don't get flashed because you only got one set of eyes. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I don't like, right off the bat, I can tell you it's too loud for me. Here, for example, is, no, I can't show you that because I unplugged it so I could plug in the, but you can show it. Just quit being lazy, Mike. God, act like you want to work for these YouTube viewers out there. So for a comparison, if I shut off my water cooler, now my water cooler is probably every bit as loud as that. Here's the HTP. It's on. Yeah, that's on. But that's not actually what I get. What I actually get is this, which is just about as loud as that thing. So, you know, it is what it is. And you're working, so does it really matter how quiet it is? So I guess in retrospect, now that I heard my water cooler and compared that with the sound of the Everlast, I'd say it's really not that much different. So, yeah, I would like all of my welders to be quiet, but none of them are. So, yeah, I will get some joints made up. We got some work to do tomorrow, monkey fab type stuff, and we'll see if we can use the new machine to do the monkey fabbing and get that work done. That way I can kill two birds with one stone. I can make tests for you guys to see how this works, and also get work done that has to be done. Although we're going to have to make up some kind of aluminum project for this guy because I never touch aluminum, and I'm sure you guys want to find out how that works. I'm going to tell you how it works. It's going to work brilliant, just like every machine. It's you. It's not the machine. There's no magic machine. There's no magic machine that makes you guys weld like a professional. It's funny, guys. Like you think like, hey, I got a penis and therefore I can weld, but it doesn't really work that way. It actually takes quite a bit of practice to weld good. And everything in life is like that. So don't take it personal. I'm sure that you probably have a profession that you do, and you've spent a tremendous amount of time perfecting your skills and your abilities. And you would think that it'd be silly for anybody to just think they could just jump in and do whatever it is that you do as well as you do it. So don't get frustrated, guys, when you're out there. Just put in the hood time. You get the hood time in, it all comes together. Every day I'm learning. Every day I hate my own welds, and every day I try to make it a little bit better. And I've been doing this. I've been doing monkey fab for probably 3 years now, and it gets better and better. And I'm never ever happy. But that doesn't stop me from taking pictures and posting on Instagram. So yeah, we'll get stuff and weld stuff, and excited about this machine. And I hope you guys are too. And until next time, this is Mike with monkeyfabgarage.com, and we're signing out.